Well, how's it go with the sun in the back?
If you go onto the
Suave
Inman site, onto the video, and they link it.
This is Byron Lazine and Nicole White, and you are tuned into episode 99 of The Real Word.
Word is up.
Give me some J. But a racket ain't one, you know?
Ooh, we should do our own parody.
Oh, there you go.
There's so many
We're going to talk about the parody at the end of this
There's so many things I want to
episode.
do in my life. That
Really?
would be on a
Add
bucket.
it to the
That's on
list.
a bucket list.
Yeah.
We should have like a
What were you
racket.
saying
A
before the
racket
show?
list.
You were going to start your own show? Oh, you're going to rip off this week's Marketeer.
No, there's
Yeah,
so many
yeah.
things I want to do. Remember, I was going to do white leg.
The white leg one would be great.
It's going to be amazing.
That would be. All right, let's get into it.
Wait, but we have to establish the fact that this week, episode 99, Byron is tanner than me.
That's true. Well,
Congratulations.
A little bit. Felt like it was wearing off in the shower today, so I put some lotion on. You know, like when you have that fresh tan and then it starts to get a little.
I hate that.
Little dead on you.
You have to keep moistrizing. It's the only way.
Forever?
Forever.
Maybe that's why I'm so
You
light.
have to moisturize.
I never moisturize.
Oh my God, I moisturize my head to toe every morning.
We figured it out, Suave. I'm not moisturizing.
You have to moisturize,
That's
especially
why I
this
look
time
so
of
white.
year. Oh my gosh, like I could probably do tic-tac-toe on your hands.
Yeah.
That's such a shame.
Wow, that's crazy. All right, I will start moisturizing for the real word peeps, the
So
Racketeers.
next week though, 100.
We get 100 next week. We've got big plans? No plans?
Big plan. I don't.
Something?
I mean, we've been talking about plans.
Nicole's the creative one. She's going to come up with a plan here.
Hell.
All right, let's get into our two rackets. Then we're going to give you who we thought was the better marketeer of last week, who I thought, who Nicole thought.
And
we
thank
got
you
a lot
for
of
people
feedback.
people were giving feedback.
Yeah.
So thank you. People were judging, thinking that like
Judging, yeah.
thinking that they were predicting. I should say predicting who they thought that we were going to.
We also have a new marketeer of this week that was sent into Inman, so we got a lot of good stuff coming up.
Such good stuff.
Let's start with Zillow. Why not, right?
I mean,
is it all Zillow? It's all about Zillow.
Byron loves Zillow. Oh, it is all about Zillow.
No, that's just referencing a Zillow study.
According to Zillow.
Yeah.
I mean, why not?
All right,
Hashtag
so
Zillow.
racket number one, the Zillow CEO, Rich Barton, of course, wants or dreams of a home trade-in service. Basically, the ability for you, experience, right? That's how they phrased it.
They did.
The ability for the homeowner to have a trade-in option on their home. Not quite, right? It's a little bit just a nice way of saying having everything under one roof.
So it's super interesting to me because I do enjoy my trade-in experience with my car. Although I'm a leaser. Are you a leaser? Do you lease?
I'm a
You
leaser,
lease,
yeah.
yeah. So I'm always trading in and getting a new one, and I love all that whole experience. I feel like, and I do love this idea because you could essentially go into a Zillow home, and they know who you are. You already have a mortgage. Like you've obviously they've done all of the sort of legwork before you even started the search.
That's the one thing about getting you into the app as a consumer, right? They're collecting so much data on you now, what you like, what you don't like.
But I'd like to think that if they're approving you, because they're saying that you have a mortgage, you're ready to go, they have to be doing a little bit
This is the vision here. So
Yes.
so the vision is in a world where you would be having your mortgage set up.
Ready?
It's in the app.
Yes.
You're going to get notifications in the app or whatever this looks like of like, hey, you need to do this. You need to keep this updated, lock into your rate.
Love it.
Like
Have to.
when your mortgage is good and not good. Here's where and I wrote this down in my notes here. Here's when the process actually happens quickly, the home buying process, when the mortgage process gets shorter.
Well, I think if as long as Zillow is holding the loans, holding their own loans, holding their own mortgages, the process can be very short.
Right. So and this is Rich Barton speaking on CNBC, so nothing that's not public. It's on the show Closing Bell, and he shared a bunch of the insights that we've been talking about, the changes that Zillow's making. Okay, so he wants to have, he wants profitable, he claims, transactions including mortgage, title, escrow, telecommunication services, and moving everything all under one roof. right?
Yeah. I mean, to finish my thought from the very beginning, again, I love trading in my car, right?
Mhm.
Here it is dirty, take it. I
Yeah.
get a new one. I just
Tires are bald.
feel like this is too easy. I feel like there's got to be a little bit more emotion, but I guess not. I guess when you're ready to sell and like Zillow's willing to take it for an amount and you can buy a new one. I
Well,
mean,
we said this from the start. Not every buyer, it's not going to be 100% of anything, but is it certainly easier to keep everything all in one place if you like the Zillow app experience, if you like the experience that they're providing? Is it easier for you to keep your transaction bundled in the same place? Maybe they're now, they did say title. Maybe they're now going to give in attorney states attorney options. Like having everything in one place and not so fragmented as real estate has been. You have to rely on your real estate agent so much, because if they don't have trusted advisors, if they don't work with good people, if they're just trying to connect you with the people that are going to hook them up, then you're not going to have an overwhelmingly good experience from start to finish. We've been saying it like so much the last couple months, and I hope everybody's listening.
Could you imagine buyer's remorse?
Buyer's remorse,
holy
maybe, right?
hell. There wouldn't even be any time for buyer's remorse.
But what we've been saying is they are not an advertising platform anymore.
Right.
They are a transaction model. I think it's worth mentioning, it happened last week. Greg Schwartz, who's been there for years, is now out, right? Spencer Raskoff, earlier in the year, the CEO, Rich Barton, coming back into the scene. As they make this drastic switch from advertising platform to transaction model, they are basically the brokerage, the Cardis, the whatever on top of the transaction before everything trickles down to brokers in this model going forward. You need new players to lead it. I think Greg was really involved in the Premier Agent program. I'm actually a little...
You're sad?
No, I'm not sad. I
Ooh.
think Greg's made
Are
a
you
lot of money.
tearing?
I'm not tearing at all. I think I'm just a little bit like, oh, shucks. Somebody that's been so involved, knew some of the names of the Premier Agents, right, is now out. They've got new players in place to lead a charge. They're doing things much differently than they've done in the past. You can argue, and I'm reading through the comments, oh, they used our money to build this, or, through the advertising platform. Well, a lot of agents made a lot of money off of that advertising platform, and they're telling you straight up they are a transaction model now, not an advertising platform. You can look at the revenue in the third quarter of the Zillow Homes program, Zillow Offers, right? $384.6 million in revenue in the third quarter. That was out of 19 markets. They're into 21 markets now. That revenue is going to keep, that quarterly revenue is going to keep exploding.
It's giving you a number. 80,000 homeowners have requested an offer through the program.
And that's in 19 markets. They now are operating in 21, and they just announced that they're going to be opening in Los Angeles here very soon.
So fun.
Insider info. I think I know who got the ZO for Los Angeles. Wasn't the one I was pulling for, but it's too bad.
I mean,
so here's the thing.
yes.
You can go through these comments, and I urge you to go. We've got the article linked up that I'm referring to here. This was a Patrick Kearns
I feel like I
Inman
should read
article.
the comments.
Yeah, read the comments. Go through the comments. There are a lot of people that are just venting, right? They're not having a conversation about how to use this to their advantage. Agents, I love you guys, but stop going in here and just blaming Zillow or blaming other agents for making Zillow the strong beast that it is. It's over. It's happened. They're talking about like the shift from DVDs to streaming and then original content at Netflix.
Right.
Guess who sits on the board of Netflix since day one? Rich Barton, the CEO of Zillow. He's been there since day one. He saw them transition. So now think advertising model, transaction model. The transition's happening. They're moving forward. This is going to happen. Yeah, I've been saying it for years. Commission compression is here. If you watched any of these 99 episodes, I have been saying commission compression for years. It is here. And if you want to have leads with Zillow, if you want 10 to 20% of your business to be a Zillow pillar, that commission is going to get compressed. The end. Now, I urge everybody, like we've always been saying, to do what? To build a brand. To build a brand so you don't have to worry about all of this stuff. You don't have to worry about what Rich is saying on CNBC.
Yeah. I feel like you have a lot of sound bites in there. You dropped Cardis, you dropped commission compression.
We got a lot of
you dropped
tags?
Zillow. You did. There was you were going through your list.
Commission
there.
compression is the one that I always
Yeah.
talk about. I mean, and when you hear them say things so bluntly, we're dreaming of a trade-in experience.
Right,
These are things that are going to happen. They're not
It's-
dreaming of them. They're going to happen.
It's going to be interesting. I'm actually kind of excited to see it, but I do think that there's still going to be a little bit. I feel like you cannot eliminate the emotion, and I think
Well,
they're
emotion's
keeping
gonna
it
be
a little
involved.
bit, a little too simple here. But
No. Let's get into that a little bit because there's going to be emotion in a real estate transaction. The emotion, I think, really gets ignited when people are having a bad experience within that transaction.
Potentially.
When one of the levers of the transaction, when one of the core pillars, players, people involved, maybe isn't getting back, maybe isn't doing as much as another player in that transaction. When it's all intertwined into one experience,
yeah, I'm hearing all that.
couldn't you argue that that experience could get better if
I agree.
they do a great job?
I also think that there is a little bit of a process when it comes to selling and buying, and if it's going to be as easy as to trade in a home to then buy a home in such a short time frame,
and they're not necessarily trading in. It's just going to feel like you're trading in because
'Cause
everything is.
I'm
in
hearing
the same
all that.
bundle.
I guess I just feel like to sort of crunch the time frame down so much, I feel like leaves so much time for like regret and like after the fact. I don't know. I mean, look at even what's that auto trader, the not auto trader, what's that CarMax. I mean, they give you 5 days after 7 days to bring the car back, if you don't like it. It's just, I wonder if that, you know what I mean? There's just, anyway.
Maybe with the homes that they own, that could be a possibility. You could go try it out for 5 days.
Maybe they want to sit down with me. I think I have some other ideas.
You have some more?
Maybe.
Send them into Rich. Greg's not there anymore, so send them into Rich. All right. So I don't think it's a racket that some consumers will feel the trade-in experience if they put everything through the app in the future in the coming days on Zillow. All right. Racket number 2, also a Patrick Kearns article. A lot of love on episode 99, 2 Patrick Kearns article from Inman.
Maybe he wants to be on 100.
Yeah, Patrick. We got to meet you someday. All right. Patrick writes, silver tsunami set to hit housing market over the next 2 decades. Baby boomers are set to vacate their currently occupied homes at a much higher rate, according to a Zillow study. Yes. Right? How much have I been saying this? If you watch back episodes 1 through 98.
So I think what's interesting here, though, is that it could be looked at from multiple angles, because they're actually talking about Arizona and Florida potentially being hit the hardest, because that's where the baby boomers have retired too. So obviously they are not only talking about vacating, they're talking about passing on, because obviously there will be a huge influx of inventory probably in those retirement communities that they're talking about. I do think, though, on the flip side, I mean, we're actually seeing it a lot up here in Connecticut already. They're leaving here to go to retire. So I think we're already seeing it here. People are leaving, and obviously not nearly as many buyers as there are sellers, which is making for a little bit more of an interesting housing market. But again, you kind of have to look at it both ways. Like, are you seeing, because we're talking about vacating, right? Baby boomers are set to vacate their currently occupied home. So I'm assuming that
they're moving somewhere if they're not dying.
Right. So it sounds like maybe the cooler weather climates may be hit harder than the warmer climates. Yes.
So from 2007 to 2017, roughly 730,000 homes were released into the market by seniors age 60 and older. I've seen a bunch of people personally that are under 60, between 50 and 60, get ahead of this.
Yes.
So they're not taking that into account. But 60 and over, 730,000 homes in the last decade. From 2017 to 2027, it's expected to go up to 920,000. And then from 2027 to 2037, it's expected to go up to 1.17 million homes released into the market by seniors age 60 and up.
Yeah.
So we continue to talk about a housing shortage of good inventory, which creates demand for new development, especially affordable new development. A lot like where we are in Connecticut, a lot of these homes where a senior, age 60 and older, owns are like bigger square footage homes that not necessarily the millennials
Well, they were also
want to
built in
absorb
the
right
they
now.
were also built in the 60s, 70s with like
Mhm.
the dark wood trim and the knotty pine cabinets and the shag carpeting. So definitely the style is
Yeah.
for sure different. So
What I
maybe
get
not
out of this is-
necessarily size in all cases, but
As a real estate agent for me, and what I want a lot of agents to think about, what I take out of this, something I've been saying a lot, is don't just focus on how do I reach the millennial consumer on Instagram. Don't just focus on that millennial buyer or seller, which there's less millennial sellers, obviously, than there are buyers at this point. I think for the next 10, 15, 20 years, you should be focusing on first, how do I capture that baby boomer market? What does that allow you to do? It allows you to lift your price range, your volume number at the end of the year, your average sale price. It allows you to lift that up when you're working a lot of times with 60 and older, right? It just makes sense. The millennials are typically, depending on the city you're in and all that, going to buy at a lower price point. They're also, if they're not dying, moving somewhere. To your point, you can get a referral down if they're relocating to one of these sunshine states, or they might be staying into the community we've seen it in the new development 66 High Street, check it out, that we work here in Connecticut. We've seen people sell and then buy a more expensive but better floor plan, smaller square footage unit for the next decade or 2 decades of their life.
Yeah. I think the hardest thing that I'm running, and again, what do you always say? There's 59 states, and then there's Connecticut. I mean, obviously our market is
No. There's 59, 40.
Well, 49. I'm sorry, 49 states. Sorry, hiccup. 49 states, and then there's Connecticut.
TF said that last time.
Yeah, I mean, I and again, I'm totally going on a different path here. It's hard though too, especially in our state, because if you're a move up buyer, it's the right time to buy, right? But if you're like a move down buyer like these, it's a little bit more. They almost have to leave.
Who has to leave?
Well,
The baby boomers have to
yeah.
leave?
Well, no, because then they're to move down, to sell their.
Well, they usually have to leave at a loss of what they think their big house is worth.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So again, it is a little bit more difficult to educate the retirement community in this state if they're staying than the move up, because
They move up in price, they move down in square footage.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's anyway.
But that's a lifestyle decision. A lot of people at that point are like, "Hey, yeah, I want the new thing. I can afford it. I want to walk downtown or whatever it may be, so I can afford that. So I'm willing to sell because I think the point you're at is there's not enough millennials
because I'm so clear this morning
willing to absorb those bigger homes, so they got to take a loss there. And anyway,
well, especially because again, most of them are probably outdated, right?
Anyway, the numbers going up. There's going to be more inventory to deal with. I don't think all of this inventory, unless there's huge demand at any given time, is going to your point, the older inventory sell at a premium,
right?
But it is all going to get listed by somebody. There are going to be agents that work with a lot of baby boomers to list their homes and get them into another situation.
Yeah.
So I'd be producing content for baby boomers. I'd be thinking about how to make connections with baby boomers. They still hold the majority of the wealth in this country. Been saying that a lot. I'd get to know them. I'd be friends with them.
Okay.
All right. The boomers.
Not a racket.
All right. We've got a marketeer. You want to get into the marketeer? You want to give our 2 cents on who won last week?
So let's announce the
right.
the
Who did you like?
marketeer. So can I be honest? I actually I mean, gosh.
We got a lot of good feedback. People
well,
loved it.
Yeah, we got great feedback. You know me, I'm a lover of parodies. I want to actually do my own, which you're totally against. So I did sort of want to lean towards the Old Town. What's the name of it?
Old Town Rap.
Is that what it was? Old Town Rap.
I got some horses in the back.
But I do have to say that
Suave hates that.
I know, but I do prefer the Chi actually, mostly because I've never seen it done before. So that, in my opinion, was the winner of last week. Period.
All right.
And you?
Well, I didn't understand that one
Yes.
from the movie reference.
Because you've never seen Love Actually, so obviously it went
Never
way
seen it.
over your head.
Never seen Love Actually. I'll never see it. So I'm gonna take the country
old
rap,
town,
the old
yeah.
town country rap, because it can get stuck in your head. The minute you start saying that, I got horses in the back. It'll be in your head all day.
I don't know about that.
Oh yeah.
You think?
Yeah. Just listen to it once. It'll be in your head. So I'm gonna give them the win. But we've got a Marketeer of the Week this week.
Yes. So
right.
we got an email from our lovely
Inman.
friend Danny at
Danny, shout out to
Inman.
Big thanks to Danny, because
She's
this show being at episode 99 is
she's a partner.
She's a
an
partner
ally.
in crime.
She's
Yeah.
an ally.
She's been really supportive and helping us get some eyeballs on Inman. Appreciate you, Danny. Appreciate Inman. And let's get into this week's Marketeer that was sent to Danny.
Yes. So are you
I've
prepared?
I've got it up.
Are you because I'm not prepared.
You're not prepared. I've got this one is called Around Town.
Yes.
The series.
The series. So it sounds like it's a multiple part series by Ben Nemec.
Mm-hmm.
Nemec.
Nemec. Go with Nemec.
So do we know where he's from? He's a broker.
Huntsville, Alabama.
Yeah, I love it. He's got a little bit of an accent. And so there's two episodes so far. He drives around in his BMW that clearly somebody gave to him for advertising purposes.
Yeah, he's doing a local advertisement with the BMW company.
We spend quite a bit of the front end talking about the vehicle.
I think it's brilliant, by the way.
Yeah, I wanted to fast forward it a little bit at the beginning, but I did enjoy. You actually made it reminded you a little bit of Seinfeld's
Coffee and Cars.
Yeah.
I think it's a great idea.
I think it's fabulous. I think it's super entertaining. I actually enjoyed it a little bit more towards like the middle, because you could tell his guest was getting a little bit more comfortable. That was fun. They get out of the car, they make a few stops. Like it's sort of like a vlog style. I enjoyed it, I have to say.
Yeah, for me, I mean, besides Danny sending it over to us because a few people had sent it to her, I think for me the reason it's really the Marketeer of the Week, because this is somebody Ben is doing a good job of connecting with his community. So he's obviously creating a relationship with the people at the BMW owner that now can bring him other relationships or potential referrals, more awareness. He's giving them awareness around the community by driving down what is it, an M5? Is that what it was?
No. He had the X7.
The X7?
Yep.
In the X7.
Yep.
I don't know my BMWs. Nicole's one of those classic real estate agents that drives a BMW.
And it's white.
Yeah. Maybe you should get and it's white, Nicole White. All right. Maybe you should get somebody to sponsor your ride.
My ride?
Yeah.
Wow.
Ride around. I think you should do that.
I think
show.
it's, again, I enjoyed it. Byron will include the link on wherever he does that. But I did enjoy it. I thought that he's doing a great job. Congratulations, Ben. If you sent it to Danny, thank you, whomever. But that was great.
Yeah, we'll link it up as always. We'll link up. Should we link up last week's Marketeers so people know what we're talking about?
Sure, why not?
We can relink that back up, Ness. Once you listen to this, do that. Maybe you can relink Ness or link up some of Suave's rap, since this is episode 99. Suave, who does all the work here for the Real Word behind the scenes, he's a real rapper, not like the parody rapper. So Ness, Suave, send.
We always have to ask him before we go like deep into it. Into
the rap.
We have to. We always.
You're gonna play some Jay-Z
run it by
for
him
me on
first.
this episode. We're gonna break the rules. We're gonna pop in a little Jay-Z.
Do you think we'll be shut down?
No, I don't think so. We're also gonna put Suave's link up. Give Ness the best stuff for episode 99. Send it over.
He was
Ness.
just on tour too.
I know. Suave's the real deal, so check him out. And we appreciate you guys. We're looking forward to doing episode 100 next week before I go to Florida.
Pressure's on.
Pressure is on.
We will be at a special, right? We'll be at a special.
Potentially.
Maybe.
Yeah.
The
house closes on Monday, so we
haven't told them what it means yet. If they know, they don't know yet. It's just a surprise.
Could be a surprise.
Damn
Tune
it.
in to episode 100.
We might be kicking it back.
If you want to send us a video for episode 100, if you've got a specific question you've been following along,
or how much they love us,
or
I want
or you just want praise, Nicole can watch that on loop. But if you've got a question for the show, send it in to us. You can email it byron@oneandcompany.com or Nicole at oneandcompany.com, or you can DM us and we can figure out what we're going to do.
You liked talking this episode.
Yeah.
So we must be at like 40 minutes.
Yeah, did you say anything?
I mean,
do you want to have a couple minutes
I'm
for
good.
the people? No?
Bye,
All right, guys. Keep it real.